Hey everybody, 45 and 52 week, I don't remember. Early morning errand edition. So I think it's, no, it's a little after 9 a.m. at this point, which I've been up for about 2 hours. Guess it's not really early morning. That's what I'm typically doing during the week. I had to run to make a return. So whenever I'm making a return and it happens to be at a grocery store, I had to do an Amazon return. So we went to a Whole Foods here. I like to go first thing or right before they close. Issue with right before they close, my kids are usually up, so I figured before they are, in theory, up, let me go ahead and do my stuff. So that's what I'm just wrapped up with. As far as this week goes, we're still kind of in the afterglow of my daughter's baptism last week. Yeah, it's a good party, great time. A couple bumps in the road that, we're kind of smoothing out, why don't we say. The big thing on my mind, I have been fighting a bit of an injury the past couple, maybe about week and change. Probably a little bit less, actually. So I went into detail on my live show yesterday about a prior injury I had. I had a slap tear. I'm not going to rehash it. If you want, go back and watch that. I'll go into to detail, even a timeline. And I was kind of laid up for about, I'm going to say 6 weeks. All I know is that was the 1 year in the past few years I used all of my PTO at my old employer. I had a whole lot of PTO. I just kind of kept banking it up until a certain extent. And yeah, that year it came in handy because I had 2 surgeries. For 2 different things. So while I was laid up is when I really started to go back into artwork and everything, because at the time I was just tired of just watching TV. So I had asked my wife to bring home some watercolors for me. She was working at the time. This was pre-kids. And that's pretty much how I got back into art. I mention that because being unable to draw, first of all, sucks so bad. You don't know how much I want to just stop and pick up my iPad or pick up a pencil and just start drawing. But I'm afraid that I may have re-aggravated this. At first I was afraid I may have re-torn this, but I'm starting to think that's not the case, only because it's not like a shooting pain or anything. If anything, I'm feeling it more up in my neck, and it's been cracking more and more every day. Today actually was the first day it felt not good, but not terrible. I don't know if that makes sense. And I don't want to rush into anything, so I'm kind of like, let me give it at least a day. And then I'll catch up in my September challenge. Hopefully I'll be okay for Battober and Italian American month. If you've been, following me for a while, you know that those drawing months are very important to me. And I even kind of wanted to think about how I was going to change up my approach this year, as I do every year. I also wanted to work on a sketch cover for Comics Curing Cancer. I actually started working on a separate sketch cover, so this would not be my first sketch cover, which is a-okay. Somebody asked me for a very long time ago. Shouldn't say they asked me. It was a prize. It's a whole big story behind it. And I finally have, for lack of a better word, the balls to like, all right, screw it, let's do it. Just checking to see if anybody's like, hey, there's a crazy guy talking to himself in his car. But we're at Whole Foods, so I think I'm okay. I don't think anybody's gonna bother me. Like, he doesn't look like he goes here. Anyway, so yesterday on my live show, I was going through some of my paintings, just saying, if for some reason I can't draw, is there something here perhaps I could donate? And I was trying to show that just as like, hey, to ask, hey, would you pay money for this? Because in my mind, some of them were not good. And I also don't want to, send something in and it doesn't get bids. Half of that is ego. I'm not going to lie to you. And half of it is just, well, if I'm going to do it, I want to help the charity. So some of the stuff was kind of positive response. I haven't seen anybody who was like, yeah, I would, definitely bid on that. Actually, no, I take that back. Somebody did say, I think on my Dr. Doom piece, that they would do that. But, if you haven't taken a look at go back into my live stream. You know, it's pretty much like the last half of the show. I was kind of stretching it because my guest bailed on me. Not the last minute, but almost at the last minute. Which I shouldn't even say that, because I was kind of slow about setting things up, as I typically am. Look, life comes up. But I think I pivoted well. So I'm kind of just seeing how this goes here. Seeing how I feel. Maybe, just maybe, I might send a painting in again just to kind of see how things are going. On other fronts, I've been plugging away. I didn't get a whole lot of time to record this week. It's just kids, man. My responsibilities at home, it takes up a lot. It's hard to sit down and edit at the end of the night, especially when you're in agonizing pain and just tired and everything. But I think if you have a YouTube channel, you might know that. And yeah, I know I'm going over. I'm just going to do that right now. The Legacy Comics covers, I'm a little afraid to ask how it's doing. Again, it's just in the back of my head, and like, those are for charity. I'm not going to say disappointed, but just kind of a little taken back that certain businesses, we'll say, outside of YouTube, that I've supported for a long time, haven't bought a bunch, or even actually some people off of YouTube. I've talked about the project when they know about it, because some of them don't. They're like, oh yeah, no, that's great. But hey, look, what can you do? I could just kind of put it out there. It's something I'm not doing at any expense, something the money's not coming out of my pocket, but I just want to do right by comics here in Cancer. Anyway, a little over 7 minutes. That's my rant for the week. Hope that everybody here has a good week. And, nothing more to say, I guess. See you later.